It was a very sad weekend for Nigerians, and I must confess it was indeed a very sad weekend for Benue people over the loss of close to 200 lives in Benue last weekend. It was indeed a very sad event, and I must say my heart goes out to all Benue people across the world. And in solidarity to what has happened, I would want us to, give a minute silence in respect of the faithfully departed souls in Benue. Okay, indeed, it was really a very sad one. Any When you got to hear about what happened that week, this past weekend, what was the first thing that came into your mind? Like,
I don't know, mixed reactions basically because I was at work. I was at work when I saw like the updates. So for some reason I was offline on Sunday, the entire Sunday, and then I came online on Monday morning, reported to the office, and it's all over the news, papers everywhere,
mm,
protests and
mm,
all of those things. I know that sadly and unfortunately, killing is no longer a big deal again in
ah,
Nigeria. Yeah, for our Nigerian
why would you,
government, like
yeah,
seeing us
indeed,
die is not a big deal for
to
them
them
already. Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, seeing us anymore. It's
Considering the fact that it's not a
yeah,
big deal to them,
yeah,
considering the fact that he had to take the Pope to issue a statement on the matter, and he
mm,
also had to take VDM going to the site where
mm,
it happened before a presidential statement was made. So
exactly.
that should actually support what you
It
said,
was
that
it
they
was it
don't
was
really
bad.
take.
They don't think it's they don't think it's I really don't know, sadly. And I feel like the way in which they were killed really got to me because it was
Mm,
gruesome. They were
indeed.
burnt in their sleep, like they woke up and their entire community, both
Children.
kids, women, fathers, even men, young boys, and all of those things.
Mm,
But then I want to ask you. So now that the most painful part of everything, right,
yeah.
for me is how that so something like this happened
Mm-hmm.
in a civilized nation that has security forces and all of those things,
Mm,
and headsmen
yeah.
burning down and taking over communities in a country. There was no state of emergency declared. Meanwhile, when party, I'm trying to be like very language conscious. But when
Mm-hmm.
party issues happened in River States,
Their actions were
bef-
swift.
ASAP,
Like,
before we sleep, wake up,
they don't take
they've
actions.
called
Yeah.
state of emergency. That was the first thing that pained me about the issue. The second thing
Mm-hmm.
is how that so all of these things are happening in Nigeria, right? We are seeing insecurity, gross insecurity. We are seeing poverty,
Yeah.
extreme poverty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, companies are leaving the country. Investors are moving out. I was having a conversation with my sister the other day, and she was telling me how that a couple of her clients that she used to have, they are no longer in Nigeria. The company is no longer in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
So many
A
of them
lot.
they've left Nigeria because of how bad our economy has become,
And insecurity.
insecurity. And the priority for these our politicians so far has been moving from party to party,
2027 election.
2027 election,
It's crazy.
decamping and decamping and decamping and planning and
No,
publicity materials.
it's quite sad. It's quite sad.
XYZ for 2027.
Mm-hmm.
We've got your back. You must win.
It's quite sad. It's quite
And we
sad.
are dying in 2025. So if
Mm.
everybody dies in 2025, who votes for you? It's not like you care. Everybody votes.
This whole issue, it didn't really start today.
Mm-hmm.
Like between 2023 May to 2025 May, about 1,000 plus people have been killed in Benue. So this is not like the very first time it has happened. And when you track their actions, like the actions of the government, when all of these things started, there has never been any time they took, let me not even say proactive steps, not even talk about maybe after the stuff happened. There has never been any major step they've taken to actually tackle this problem. This problem is communal. Do you understand? It has to do with the communities. There's a way you do these things and peace reigns. But I'm seeing a government where they are so lackadaisical, they are so unbothered, like you said, about the plight of the country, the plight of the citizens. All they are basically concerned about is how they can, retain power. It is sad. I made an instance to a friend. In this Iraq and Israel issues, I don't think they've lost up to 200 lives. But you could see how Nigerian celebrities, Nigerians ourselves, pour out support and fight for Iran or do this. But when it comes to our own issues, let's take, for example, even our celebrities that should be like people that could stand up
Well, sorry,
for
I want
us.
to interrupt you there. Speaking of celebrities, what do you want them to do?
Okay, first of all, you have these platforms whereby millions of people are following you all over the world, not just Nigerians. What would you take for you to just make a post to enlighten the people, as in a form of exposure, to let people know what is actually going on? And they are not just celebrities, they are influencers. They influence people. There's a way you can influence us being Nigerians to make the right decisions, to come together, especially, most importantly. I don't want to use the word fight or to stand up against this government, because we as the people, we have the power, and the elites are trying to make us feel like we don't have this power anymore. So you see where the celebrities come in. They are influencers. They can influence us as people or influence their followers to see, okay, this is the right. Okay, just take for example VDM. See the massive influence he had on this case. If it hadn't been for VDM that went on site to actually, take live coverage of what has actually happened in that community, I believe most people wouldn't have known that this is the extent to which people were killed in their own homes. Okay. So I just feel our celebrities are so concerned about their
own. But then, there are two sides to this thing. As much as we want people to advocate and talk about it, now the first question I want to ask is, honestly, as a Nigerian, you personally as a Nigerian, aside wanting to, say what is right and of course like how the proper way that things should be, do you really think we still have the power?
As a people?
As a people.
Of course we do.
Now let's cite examples.
Yeah, we do.
When we wanted to exercise that power in 2020, what happened to everybody?
Okay, you are referring to the End SARS protest. Yes. Does that give us the reason to back down?
Now, when we wanted to exercise that power again democratically during the last presidential elections, okay, so fine. It has been said that this particular person won the presidential election.
You see when it comes to issues.
But the thing is, if you know,
when it comes to issues like that, like for we as a people standing up, the struggle never ends. Do you understand? There's no.
Should we just struggle till we die?
You have to fight for your freedom. It's important. The way you see the government, what they are doing is working on you already. Okay. It's clear. Like you are giving up hope. Maybe you are even part of the set that want to jackpot and leave.
Just give up
and do what, and leave it to them to finish the many things that is.
Because I'll give you a very practical example, right? So when they say, now you know how that I don't know if you heard about it, but very recently a young girl, an NYC copper, she came out to speak and all of that. So the stage we Nigeria is right now is the point of sacrificial lamb. Do you understand? It's not feeling like.
What do you mean by sacrificial?
What I mean by sacrificial lamb. So when somebody stands up to speak about something, right? Maybe if you are lucky, if you have a maybe, which is the probability level, the chances are on like a 10 to 90 chance. Maybe you have a shot, and maybe it gets to a few right ears, maybe they listen. If the solution is not like
my point is
the solution that comes out of it is not as lasting. It's more or less like not worth. Now when we came out to do NSARS, you know the amount of people that died from all of those things. What would
Yeah,
you
people
end
died, yeah.
brutality? Do you know in 2025 that same brutality has picked up?
Okay, now fine. I
All the
know.
people that
See,
died,
I'm
people's
aware.
sons. To be very honest
I'm
with you,
aware of this
when people are
reality.
gathering together and doing,
Any,
we no go agree, we no go
anyway,
agree. I'm calling
any,
all my friends.
anyway.
I'm telling them to stay in their house because I feel like the points that we are in right now,
Mhm.
we are going to die. Do you understand?
Mhm.
And the country is going to move on. And
What you're saying basically is the youth should just give up on fighting for Nigeria.
it's a thought.
No. You can't do that. You see, the struggle
It's
has
a
to
thought.
continue. You see,
Have you ever been in a protest?
hello, let me tell you something.
Have you ever been in a protest?
See, let me tell you. See, the world has transitioned from, even physical protests where people have to go out and collect
Okay, fine.
use placards.
This is something.
You
This is something
you
more
can do
recent
something
that has
on your
happened.
phone.
What effect does it have? Like the people who have been doing something.
The international
on their phone.
communities, they are
what
watching.
effect,
They are watching. People are watching. Do you understand? A little tweet can go as far as where you cannot even go.
Okay.
This little effort, you can't just sit down and just give up on fighting for your country. In the little way that you can, you should. Do you understand? Regardless of what happened in 2020, the struggle has to continue. It has to. If we really have that mindset of saving what is left out of Nigeria, each and every one of us have a responsibility to play in rescuing this country called Nigeria. Because if it's not done, we are done for.
Sure.
Are you aware of the recent ban they are going to drop on Nigerians, or not just Nigerians, from US? Like people, they are saying, okay, if they send you out of other countries, where are you coming back to? Is it not this country?
Sure, of course.
So this is your home. You can't just say you want to give up fighting for your home.
Okay, no, don't.
Do you know that our problem is? Do you know the problem of Nigeria? Do you know that the problem of Nigeria is not big?
I think we should fight.
Our problem is not serious.
That's what I think.
Our problem is not serious. Our problem is leadership.
Okay.
Do you understand? And the people that are in leader compared to we as a people, it's just the fraction is so big. If we come together as a people and say, no, we want to choose our leader and remove any form of tribal influence, any form of, okay, I don't want to collect money to vote. We say, okay, we want to choose our leader this time. Who are the leaders that can stand against us?
There are, but then we know these things. We know that their leaders are.
Do you know that the awareness? Do you not know that the awareness, when it comes to how to fight these leaders, is becoming, like, people are getting aware on how we should do these things. First of all, most of us are not fully aware that they are weaponizing poverty to put us in asunder so that we can't fight them. They are using tribe, religion. So most of us now, we are getting fully aware of all these things. So there will be a time where people will refuse money to vote. Like, no, I feel that time will come. And it's just around the corner, and they are aware of it. The leaders, they are aware of it. So that's why they are doing everything. You see, the leaders are working together. While we as a people that is supposed to be working together, we are not. You see these men that we are talking about, these leaders we are talking about, have you seen them in their secret corners? They are like friends.
So let me tell you this.
So
let me clarify something. I'm not saying we should give up hope.
No, you said it.
No,
you said you said it.
That was literally that we should give up hope. Now what if we give up and stop fighting? No,
that's what you said.
The truth is, if you give up, you die. If you fight, you die still.
No, if you fight, you might not die.
You die still.
But in our situation, if you give up, you will die
still.
No.
Did you see the protest that happened recently in Delta State? There was a protest that happened in Delta State.
This protest.
They were these people, peaceful protests. They were peacefully marching the streets, Do you know all of these things? This was a video. A friend of mine posted it on his WhatsApp status. And we saw in that video, uniformed men opened fire. Civilians were there. Exactly.
Yeah, people died.
Now, I am not saying, should celebrities speak about what is going on? They should. Now, this is my own point. This is my argument. Most times we stand up and we say, see, Davido, something that happened, post. See, Burna Boy, post. True. If little efforts, right?
Yeah, it matters, yeah. It goes a long way.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
To the amount to something. But now, the kind of change that we really need here, I feel like it should be more strategic. This is beyond just doing hashtag fight for something online. Do you get what I'm saying? What I'm saying?
Oh,
It's beyond hashtag, oh, this one, hashtag. Like, come to the see,
but you know,
after we do the hashtag everything, end poverty, that week, my Gary price will double. So am I saying it is not important to trend and carry this thing online and have our influencers carry this message? It is. Maybe. That's what me I'm saying.
it is very important.
Maybe it is.
It
Maybe
is
it
very
is.
important,
Maybe it still is not. Because at the end of the day, the people who have we've seen how that celebrities who are very active politically, people like Fowles, have gone out and say, oh no, this thing will not happen. Then go even thief in phone self
Okay,
for the
since-
location. And when he comes back,
since-
so what I'm
since he
saying
gave
is,
up-
I feel like our youth
I don't know
should
if
come with a
I don't
different
know I don't know if
strategy.
Fowles
Because
talking
this
about
time,
Fowles.
it's beyond trends.
Talking about
It's beyond
Fowles,
just,
I don't know if
what
he
we
has
did in
given up.
Nigeria is definitely beyond protests. It's beyond protest.
We should start
it's
from
beyond,
you.
it's beyond. Now we really have to.
getting this
Now,
wrong.
okay, fine.
No,
See,
you are getting this wrong. I need to
2027
let you
election
know
is
that-
coming up.
Wait, you are getting the wrong
2027
idea.
election is coming up.
What are you saying? Should we protest or we should not protest?
The first thing we even have to talk about now
Should we
is how we
protest
make our vote
or
count.
should
Because
we
we know
not
how that
protest?
we voted before and the votes did not count.
Should we forget about
How are we going
protest
to
or
make
not?
our vote count? In
Can you
fact,
just
me,
do you
for
think we
protest,
should forget
left
about
for
pro-
me,
Yeah.
I'll be very honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I will not allow a friend of mine in this Nigeria that we are in now, my brother, come out on the streets to protest.
That's
See,
where you're still
if
getting.
they shoot him and he dies, I cannot cry. And that is just the truth.
No,
When was the last time you went for protest, Alvin?
When was the last time a protest was?
Was happened in
Yeah,
Benin? A couple of
wasn't it?
times it has. There was cash scarcity. It happened. There was.
It might be-
Did you go out for any
No,
endsars
going
protest?
out to protest is not the
Wait,
problem.
wait. Just wait. Let's breathe.
When I stand with
Let's
what the
wait,
protest
wait,
is
wait.
all about,
Alvin,
I will
did
go out.
you go out for?
No, there have
endsars
never been
protest?
since 2020.
It's a direct question, yes or no?
If
Did you
I've
go out?
ever-
Wait.
Yes, I
2020
do.
Protest. Did you go out
Of course, I did. I was on
Went
the
out
street
for-
for days.
for days?
Motek Production,
Yes.
the guy
I was
in
with
charge
you.
of this podcast, he was there. Like we were on ground, so that's not like, yeah. So what I'm trying to
It's
say
a
is that
protest. Say there's a protest in
where
Benin
I
and want
understood,
to do fight
where I
for
understood
Nigeria.
where I understood from where you were coming, like from
Okay.
where you were coming. Now you've changed. Where you started from was stuff. Nothing should be done. Everybody should.
No,
just
I'm
chill.
not saying nothing should be done.
No, that's what you see.
Because
when
you
say that
lay
it's doing.
you lay
And it's wrong.
emphasis. You lay
See,
emphasis
But,
on
see,
trends.
Nigerians. Whatever you can do,
Do
to
it.
stand against this bad governance, because it's
We
bad.
have to just
I will
be
put
smart.
I will put it to the government. It is bad governance from
Okay.
the national to the state to the
Okay,
local government.
okay.
Expensive bad governance.
All right.
What you should do as a citizen,
All right.
no matter how minute
Is
it is,
post.
please do.
Just
you shouldn't
post.
just be post. If you want to post, yes.
Now we are on the same page. What you can do, you do, right? But admit it that having our celebrities come online and talk about what is going on. talk about
It's
things-
part of it.
It's part, but it's
It-
not enough. That's not where solution is going to
But
come
at
from.
least it's better than doing nothing. Just imagine Davido posted something about Benue attack. Do you know the attention it would have
My
gathered?
point is everybody's just so focused on this celebrity did not.
No, I'm just
like
saying
I
if
said,
they
that's
come
where
together.
that's where the solution will come
No,
from.
I'm just
so
saying-
when Burna Boy now post, all the people that died will now come back to life. Do you understand?
No,
and
I
the money is
mean,
now
no,
all the
it
children.
will
And
have
we're all
that-
happy.
it will have
And then
that future.
our leaders will look at us and say,
It will
"Hey."
have No,
Okay, first of all, now I'll tell you what I want us to do.
all right, please do.
The first thing is now 2027 election is coming, right? I feel like we as youths, as young people living in Nigeria,
Yeah.
we have to really come and sit down.
Mm-hmm.
People who are more enlightened. I'm just like an average Nigerian. I'm just a girl, like every other girl in Nigeria. Before, when I was younger, to be very honest, I did not really have interest in politics. When I was in school, I did not have interest in politics. I did not really want to be involved. But then I've seen how bad that the government has gotten, and little by little, I've seen how crazy times are for us as Nigerians. And you are correct when you say, we can't run outside. And that's the truth. I was even, when we're discussing US ban and Trump and the tariffs that he's placing on businesses and countries and international war and all those things. When I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, we started laughing. We were like, so all the businessmen that used to travel to Nigeria now, to go and do, now it's even very hard
Yep.
to travel away from Nigeria and go and set up. What I feel like, okay, so I'll just use myself as a case study. The first thing is now I'm beginning to get more awareness on what it means to be, politically inclined, to be actively involved. So this is what I would say. I feel like it is beyond just let us see good men, right? Starting from now, involve in politics.
Yeah.
Involve in governments. Let us not stop shouting, oh, this one no post. Now so they do this one no post. People don't post before. Do you understand? And nothing will still happen. You will start. Is it protest you want to start? You will start a protest and nothing will happen. That's Nigeria that we are in. You will post and nothing will. Should you not? You should.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get you.
Do what you can.
Yeah,
right. But for 2027, I feel like young people, because now we have to see how we would actually make our votes count. That is the question I'm even asking people.
So, just as Annie said, I believe we as the youth, the young people in this country, should find a way to be politically involved, in political matters that has to do with this country. Because now we get the energy, now we get the ginger. These people are old men. Like, if we come together as a collective, there's nothing we cannot achieve, my guys. So I believe that time has come for us to really indeed come together and make a collective decision on how to carry or take on this country to the next level.
And before we go, I'm going to throw this question to the general public. So these arguments that we have had today, I'm going to ask you to tell us in the comment section. Do you think that posting and trends is really it?
It's part of it. Let me influence the answer already. It's part of it.
Do you think it's
if it's only on like your WhatsApp status,
dragging our celebrities, who just want to go about their business and settle their industry and all that?
If that's the only thing you can do, please do.
Do you think that's the only thing you should be doing right now as a Nigerian, posting?
If that's what you can do,
I'm not saying it's useless, but what's the percentage? How much effect is it really having in providing a solution, though? Not in just making sure that the noise is everywhere. The noise could be everywhere, but is the situation actually getting better? And then cite examples of when celebrities in Nigeria, not other countries, in Nigeria, have made noise about something, and it brought an actual solution. Thank you, and subscribe to our channel.
Okay, let me answer that one. Cut.